Please, let's see a 5 minutes walkthrough and then we continue. The whole thing, what we want to do is, we want to have a function to add two numbers. Are we okay? So let's say why is it not okay? So what is wrong with my browser? The color is not changing. Anyway, so let's say first we need a function for addition. We know what a function is. Yeah. We need a function for addition. So the functions we need are let's say 1 addition, and then 2 we need subtraction, and then 3 we need multiplication, and then the 4th one we need division. So these are the 4 functions we need first. I don't know what is wrong with mine. These are the functions we need. How do we create them? It's simple. You begin with the word function and the name you want to use. So I will use add. You want to add 2 numbers. In that case, let me see, first number, and then I will have a second number. Now, when I come inside the function, there's something wrong with mine. It's not in the PHP tag. Are you okay? It's supposed to be in a PHP, HP, something like this. It's not having eyes. Is it? So this is the function. We now want to do the calculation, right? So we can say let's say results is equal to the first number times the second number. Let me make them A and B so that we can be faster. A and B. So this will now be A plus B. Are you okay? Now, yesterday I talked about the types of functions. Those when you are done, you just display your answer and go away. You understand? And those when you are done, you need that answer at another place. You get it? It's like that is not your final goal. You need that answer for another calculation. So if you need this answer for another calculation, then you use this word telling you that this answer will be used somewhere else. But if you don't need it, then you just echo your results and you are done. So let's see this one in our browser. It's supposed to. Okay, we've not tested. So let's test the function we've created. So we say echo is add. We are now using the function. Yeah. What we did is creating it. So we are now using it. So we will have any value. Let's say this 10. And then you test it here, 15. Okay, it's working fine. Are we okay? But we don't want to display the results in the browser now. We want to use the answer somewhere else. So to do that, we don't need this. And then here you don't say echo, you say return. So here will be return. So we are done with that. The same thing for addition. So I'll just copy this and I'll change this one to subtraction. Let me just make it sub. And then here will rather be division. That is so. I'm done with the second. So if I come here, third, let's say multiplication, and then here will be multiply. That is all. I'm done. And then the last one is division, and then I'll call it div, and this will be this, and I'm done creating the 4 functions, and they are all having a return type because I want to use them in another function or in another place. So when I come to that one, I'll have a final function I'll call I hope this is it, arithmetic. That takes first number, second number, and the operation you want to do. Are you okay? So in that case, this will have a third parameter. Let's call it operation. So you are now coming to check the operation. We don't need this. We are coming to check the operation. Is the operation the plus sign? Then you want to add these 2 numbers. You've got it. So in that case, I said we can use either switch case or if statement. So SW. If I use switch, then which one am I testing? The operator. Are you okay? Let's call it that. So this is what I'm testing. This is what I'm testing. So first case, is it the plus sign? So this is it. So if it's the plus sign, then we just want to display this. But this time we don't need this answer anywhere else. This is our final point. So you just echo this. That's all. I'm done for this. And you break. You are breaking because if you don't, it will continue executing what is next. I'm done with this. So I'll come case when the person enter let's see minus sign, then the minus sign function should work. Are you okay with that? So it's subtract, right? Yeah, so this is it. And when is the third one? Multiplication. I will use this. So when the person type this, we use this one, and then that's all. The fourth one, yes, yeah, the multiplication. Yeah, you can use this. I can even say this represents my multiplication sign. This is not actually what is doing the calculation. This is just a symbol to represent it. So that's why I use this. And then the final one is division. Are you okay? And then here will be division. And that's all. I'm done with the arithmetic. So if I want to test this arithmetic, I'll come here and I'll just echo. What is the first number? Let's say 20. Second number 10. Third, what operation do I want to do? I want to do addition. And that's all. I want to do division. I want to do subtraction. If I come here, subtraction is done. So let's continue. Let's continue with what you come again. Yeah, okay, someone is saying let's implement that same thing with if. Nothing is changing. Your functions are intact. Are you okay? Yes. So when you come here, the same function, the same signature we will need. So when I come here, I'll say this will be the beginning and the ending. So when I come inside here, it's the same operator I'm checking, this one. So I'll just do if the operator, if this one here is equivalent to the plus sign, then you just echo this. This doesn't have break, so you just echo this. And then else if this operator is minus, and then you echo this. The first one is divide, add. This is subtract, and then else if this operator, let me copy and paste. So if it's this, if it's divide, then you echo divide. Else if your operator, the final one is multiplication. So if it's this, then you multiply. Are you okay? So there is something here. So we've created two functions. They all have the same name. Are you okay? We created two functions. They all have the same name. It's called function overload. So the interpreter will get confused. Which one do you want to work with? So either you change the name here to represent something else, or maybe the signature here has to change. Like if maybe like this had two operators and two parameters, that will have worked. The first function has 3 parameters. If this one had 2, it will have worked. Are we okay? We've created two functions. They all have the same name. It's called function overload. So we'll have to change something like that. So I'm changing this one. Let's say I'm beginning with underscore. So now if I bring underscore here, that means I'm using the if one. So let's test it and see. Call to function underscore in blah 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 blah. So let me see, arithmetic, if is the name. Alright, where did I put it? I put it here. So alright, undefined function. I think the message makes sense. Call to undefined function, arithmetic, echo arithmetic. What is it saying? Let's get this guy away and see if. Okay, so there's parameter issue and it's saying something else. This is this. This is this. Let's look through what is missing. This works.
I'm not talking about this.
Okay.
In the first function, we have a result there, but in the second function,
the first function.
The first arithmetic.
Okay.
We have like function this plus this. The results were casted. The second one is since
No, in the switch case, we didn't make use of that variable.
we defined them in the previous.
I'm not getting you. We've not tagged this one, so.
Yes.
Okay.
But when we came to do the case, the function we proceed case.
That is this one here.
Already we have already defined like A and then B.
Yeah, they are here.
But I don't know the second function. Is it taking the same
Parameters.
Yes.
No, this could be C and D. You get it? Each of these ones could be something else. You get it? But when you do that, you make sure inside here is the X and Y you are using. When you declare it here, is global, the scope. It's only this function that sees this variable. That is why you have the option to declare that same name in another function. Are you okay? When you declare it inside this bracket, open bracket, close, it's only this function that sees those two variables. So it will not tell you the variable is already declared because the other part of the program is not seeing it. That doesn't make sense. Or is something else you were talking about? The same. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see what is wrong with this function here. So what we can do is let's take how many bracket opens do we expect? This one has its closing, this one has its closing, this one has its closing, this one has its, this if is closing here. Okay. This is 1, this is 2. So just for the if side, there has to be 2. There has to be 2. And then my if is this. Let's see. Okay, so the if is now working. This one uses the if. It was a bracket, close, and other thing that was causing that. So that's the same thing I've done with the switch. This one using the switch, and this one using the if. So let's try it on. Though if you are done, fine. But if you haven't, continue. I hope you've gotten the concept to continue. What I want us to achieve is this concept of breaking things down. Are you okay? You could have another function that works on something else. This one works on arithmetic. You could have another function that works with something else. Let's say salary function, leave function, different. And then from there we will see how we join all these ones to make something else. So let's try and get this one right. It must work. Alright, you've got to And you can see my file wasn't in PHP. I am HTML. So just PHP inside. Then that was
Very, very necessary and important at the same time.
It's working. That is fine. Now, let's see something else. The loop. Let's see an example of how you will use it. We need to clear those things today so that tomorrow we can move on to something else. We know what the loop is already. We've talked about it. If you are looping, that means you are doing something again and again and again. That same thing or that same set of things. You are doing it over and over and over. Are you okay with that? That is just the whole thing. And you ask yourself, actually I'm aware, I have to bring this. You ask yourself like how many times you want to do it, and that tells you which type of these formulas to use. Are we okay? So the possible ways, let's say it can be like fixed number of times. I want to do it just once, I want to do it twice, I want to do it 10 times, I want to do it 20 times, 1 million times, 1 billion times, 1 trillion, whatever figure, but Are you okay with that? Then there is another way you don't know the number of times you want to do it. So if you know exactly the number of times you want to do it, then that is where they are telling us to use the for loop. Are we okay? So for this one, we are going to use for loop. And then there is another one which is for each. Now for each works with string. I said it yesterday, but the normal for that one works with any data type. Are we okay with that? So let's see an example. The easiest we can start with is, let's say, to print from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100. Are you okay? Yes. The normal way will have been equal 1, equal 2, equal 3, equal 4. If you are tired, then you tell me. Equal 5, equal 6. Okay, you're the one watching, you are tired. So let's see what we have. This is it, right? But it's going this way. Let's say we want it down. So what do? We echo break. So let me see if you can do it. Hey, you can I want to do some terrible concatenation. So let's say echo. Okay, it works. So break, which is PHP, HTML. So we can have something like this. Okay, so well away. So we can have something like this, and then 6, 7. So here can be 8, here can be 9, here can be 10, 11, and then let's say 12. This should tell give us. Are you okay? So if we are to do this 100 times, this is what we're going through. 1,000 times, this is what we're going through. So it's the same thing we are doing. This is why things like the loops come in, to automate things like this. So let's see the nature of this same thing. Cut this one, bring it here to make it comment. So we want to achieve this same thing, but this time using this for loop. Are we okay? Now to do the for loop, you need 3 things. The for loop, you need 3 things. You need your starts. Are you okay? Then 2, like when should I stop? And then 3, how do you call it? My steps. How of the next, or should I be jumping? What is that increment? Or should I be going back? Things like that. Are you okay? So for simple numbers, this our start can be 0 or 1 or let's say 5. When should we stop? When we print up to 50. When we print up to 10. What should be the increment or the decrement? It should just be 1, 1. So in that case, from 1 I'll go to 2. From 2 I'll go to 3. Now when I say it should be 2, 2, that means from 1 I'll go to 3. From 3 I'll go to 5. And you can see it's easy to print odd numbers, it's easy to print even numbers, which we will do right away after I shoot this 1, 2, 3 to 10. We'll print the. So let's see. The formula is this. There is nothing I can do about this. We need to burn it into our brains. It starts with the word for. That's what they are telling us. So where should we start? Are we okay? We are going to use the variable to do this. So where should we start? Let's see. We are starting from 0. Are we okay? When should we stop? When we get to 50. Are we okay? So we'll keep doing while this number is less than 50, or if it's 10, while it's less than 10. So you will have start to be less than 10. What should be our steps? Just one increment, and that one increment, let's do it this way. There are two ways of doing it. You can have let's say start, this one is there, or you can have start is equal to start plus 1. Start plus 1. This will also work. So we are going to use this start plus plus. Let's get this concept right. Where are you starting from? I'm starting from 0, or I'm starting from 1. When should I stop? Keep doing it so far as it's less than 10, or keep doing it so far as it's less than 100. This is the condition you've given. Then now you ask yourself, what should I do? That is what will come into this code. Are we okay? So in that case, this is what we want to do repetitively. Are you okay? I just copied one of them, and instead of this, it will now be this. And that's all. We've turned this one we've printed, we've turned it this way. This is more human than the other one. So that is all. The next.
So if you don't, in this automation, if you don't bring the break, it will not bring it down.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's easy to see how it. It was going this way without the break, so it will still go that way without the break. Let's see what we want to get. Haram. This is not good for my heart. What happened? Or what is the condition? 100. Okay, it makes sense. It's not haram. So you get it, because the break is not there, it's going horizontally. But if you want to see it vertically, then you bring a break. So you echo. Since this one is a variable, you can concatenate break to it. So that is it. We've achieved the same thing which we were using separate echo. Now let's see something. If I want even numbers, that means I just have to be skipping. From 1 I should go to 3. In that case, my increment is 2, 2, 2. So in that case, let's see what this does. I pray it gives an error. That is, it's just producing till my memory gets full. Are you okay? It will just keep printing one because the condition that it couldn't make sense of the conditions. So it's just printing till my memory gets full. Like virtually your machine is crashing like that. So let's just print something to stop it. Let's say we print 9. We are just going to tell you to do something else. Print this one for us. Okay, this one has an end. So that is it. Let's change the condition. Okay, we should have commented this, but I think it's stopped now. Yeah, because it's called infinite loop. It's like I was making an example. The timer we use is an infinite loop. It doesn't know when it's stopping, but maybe we are lucky something resets, so it's not using the memory as we are supposed to. Please, are we okay with the for loop? We are okay with it. Now let's see one typical example of, let's say, how you use the for loop is with arrays. Are you okay? is with arrays. So if, let's say here it was rather arrays, I wanted to, this boy should go away. Okay, let's print the even numbers or the odd numbers. In that case, this is how it will be. It will be this one plus 2. Are we okay? That should be printing, leaving 1 steps in between. 1, 3, 5. Are we okay with that? That is it. No matter if you change it, let's say if you make here 100 and you make here 5, that means it's producing 5 times table. 5, 10, 15, 20. That is. Come again. Yeah, if it's 0 you want to start from. So then that is it. 0, 5. That is just how you produce these things. But basically this will not be what you're using it for. What typical example is arrays. How you use this with arrays. Now for example, let me push, what is the comment? Let's bring the comment somewhere here. So let's say arrays, and we know why we use arrays. When I have the same thing, like these same numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, you know, they are the same. I can create 10 variables to hold them. I can put all the 10 into one array. So if I want to put them into an array, that's one variable, but I'll access them differently. So I'll say numbers, and then I'll have something like this, and I'll have something like this in it. That is it. Instead of creating number 1 as a variable, number 2 as a variable, number 3 as a variable, I can create one like this and then push everything in it. It could be anything, not just 1, 2, 3. Something like this. And we know these are like items in it. This is the first item, this is the second item, this is the third item. Are you okay with that? So if we need the first item, is our array name, and then let's say we need the first item. Let's see what we are getting in our browser. 288. Are we okay? But the 288 is the second item, so they are telling us to think from 0. That was what last week we were doing. So whatever position you want to get, it will be -1. If you want that, if they tell you to produce the 10th item, you know in your mind it should be -1 because you are doing your accounting from 0. Are you okay with that? So if I need this first item, second item, third item, fourth item, this is the 5th item, but if I produce here, it will not be. I have to reduce 1 from it, so that will be the 4th item, and that will give me that particular element I need. That is in case you need just one of them, but if you need to produce everything, then you still fall on the for loop. Are we okay? Now if we are to use the same structure here, we will have for. Where are we starting? Let's say from the first element, which we know to be 0 by our counting, this one, and then our element should be less than the size of the array. Are we okay? And this is what gives you the size of the array. If you do this size of, and you bring the name of the array in the bracket, it will tell you the number of items in the array. Let's see this. If you take this away, let me see this, and then I'll comment this. Let's say you want to get the how many items are in the array. Where did we go wrong? So this is what we want to get. See, it's telling me there are 9 items in the array. So what that means is, in our for loop, it should be less than 10 or less than equal to 9. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Either less than 10 or less than or is equal to 9. So that will give you this. Or better still, you can use this one also here. Are you okay with that? Or you can push this one into a variable like length, and then you use the length here. I think this is more reasonable this way. So it should be less than or is equal to this. It should come first this way. Okay, we will run and see if that is it. This one.
No, before the equal sign. Going to the length.
Yeah, it's the S. This variable. That is what is going through all the. This one represents. It looks like the $sign itself. So let's do something like this, and that is what we are going to increment. Are you okay with that? So now this is the condition. This is where we are starting from. We are going to the end of the array, and we are not skipping anything. That's why it's just 1, the increment. So we are just going to echo our array. And the parameter, what did I do? So I'll copy this, bring it here, and then it will be the I. That is all. So instead of echoing it 1, 1, 1, you can use loop this way to echo everything in the array. So let's see syntax error. What is it saying? 12. So I can even close this. I don't know this. It's supposed to be like this. So let's see this. So to be sure that is where we are coming from, let's do this. I mean, that's not where the problem is. Line 39, okay.
There's no column at the end of that.
Yeah, there has to be a semicolon here. So undefined offsets of 9. So I think we are getting our values, yeah, but there is something more to fix. What is it saying? An offset, blah 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 blah. What is an offset anywhere here? It is less than. Is it? This one. Yeah, it was the length. It was the length. If you bring the then it should be this. Less than or is equal to, yeah, it's giving the same thing. It's telling me the offset what. Will it be this? No. So but we've gotten our answer. That is what we want to achieve. Offset Offset has done what? Mostly those messages can sometimes when there is a space before the final. That's why I copy to Notepad to see if there is something like that. There is an offset. There is an offset. Let me see. So that means it's 4. It's got this. I said it's got to but let's move on. Now the same array can also be string. Are we okay? The same array can be string. Let's say, for example, this is names. Like, yes, array can also take strings. Data type. Yeah, it can take different data types. So let's say, Jalil. Okay.
So, like with this number, you have to bring, just put the break after the.
Here.
There.
You see?
Like if you have to break, like it's showing in detail. So if you have to break it so that it appears.
On the same thing, yeah. I just split them down.
No. I'm saying if like the loop.
Okay.
You see, it's appearing like horizontal in the browser. If you want it to come vertical, like
the out, yeah. You concatenate this with break. BR. I've missed some comma somewhere. So you concatenate it with break, something like this, and the display will now shift to it will be going down this way. So you see it has produced different data type. It internally to convert it to treat these ones as strings. So that is why it produces it. But it will not make sense. You don't know which data you are working with.
Yeah.
So let's say now we are working with names. Dollar. Now then we need to chase you. So.
Run.
So let's see what we've gotten. The same array, instead of us creating like let's say variable Jalil to store Jalil, another variable for Amma to store Amma. Now we have one variable and we are pushing everything into it. The first item we know is at position 0. So the same thing, let's output it, and it's now outputting names. Are we okay? So the same structure, it works for integers, it works for strings, whichever data type you are working with. Now, but if it's string, you can also use the for each on it. Are we okay? So you just create another variable for your array. And that is all. So I'll just have something like this for each. Then inside it, I'll say my number as, let's see, n. I'm creating another variable out of this one. This one, that is all. This is the structure. And then you echo n. That is all. So if you are using the for each on string, you should achieve undefined variable number. Okay, so let's trace. Where do we have okay, we've come in this, so somewhere here. So okay, it's going this way, so you have to push it vertically, and that the same thing. So I'll just concatenate it with break, and then I'll achieve the same thing with the for each. Are we okay? Is it? So that is if it's string, it goes this way. Now, when we started, we look at it this way. When we know the exact number of times we want to repeat what we want to do, that is when we use this for. When we don't know, then we have the option to use these guys here, while what is true or while is false, do something else. Are we okay? Then there is this one to do something else whilst is true. You see, like print. If there is paper, print. Come again. Okay. Huh? They are all. Yeah. The only difference is, like, if I give you these two statements, print. Let's say you have a document. Print it if there is paper. Are you okay? And then if there is paper, print it. They are the same, but logically there's difference. Yes. You know, there are two statements involved. Print, and then the paper aspect of it. So if you say print, if there is paper, in computer time, the print came first. So it will execute that before going to check. Are you okay with that? But if you say there is paper, if there is paper, print, it will check first. Please, are we okay with this? If there is paper, print. Print if there is paper. There are two statements. If there is paper, print. Print if there is paper. Yes, to computer. But we understand it, because there are two statements, the checking and then the actual printing. So if you tell the computer to print before the checking, there will be jam. And that is where these two things come in. So if you don't really care of checking, then you can start doing with this. But if that checking is very important, check before you start doing anything else, then you use this one. Your check should come first if that check is important for you. So let's see the same 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. If we want to produce it, we can use this, the same thing, and then we check the number. Let's see, the let's say while number is, let's say, less than 10. So we are doing the check first. Are we okay? We are doing the check first. So then we come here, we echo the number. So we echo the number. Let's declare the number here and give it a value. So we will have, let's say we are starting from 0. Are we okay? Now, what we are saying is this number is 0. Is it less than 10? So it will print the number. Are we okay? Now it will come back. Is it less than 0? Yes. Then it will print. It's still the same 0. Yeah. Are we okay? It will come back. Is it less than 10? It's less than 10 because it's the same 0. Then so it will keep printing 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and there's no stop anywhere. So there has to be something that will change this value. Are we okay? If not, any check it will do, it will still be 0, and that satisfies this condition. In that case, it will print it. So in that case, we need to increment this. We will keep adding 1 to the number. So next time when it comes, it will be 1. Next time when it comes, it will be 2, and then it will finally get to a condition that it will be false. If not, if you don't bring this, it will always be that same 0. If you initialize it to 1, it will always be 1, and the loop will just keep going. So that is it for this. Let's see what we are getting in our browser. We are getting the same 1, 2, 3 to 10, and we can do the concatenation with break, and then we are achieving the same thing this way. Now we are doing the check first. Now if you don't want to check do the checks first, you just copy your condition, this one, bring it down here, and then you put do here. That's all. And then you terminate it. You are done. Yes, the while. So everything top there, just cut it and put do there, and then come to the end and then paste this one here and terminate it. You change it to the do, and the difference is the first check. The first check, that is just the difference. That is it for functions, for arrays, and then the loops. Please, any question? The JavaScript, you do something like object oriented, something like that. You did it. Okay, and then we can skip that. Yeah, like the concept of object oriented program. Yeah, things like that. No, but you know what the concept means. Yes, those big words. Inherit. You know inheritance. If you die, or it's a harsh word. If I die, I'll have like someone to inherit. Yeah, whoever is interested. So, of course, they will check against the will. So, if you have interest, you can come. But if your name is there, if it's equal to, so you see, the whole thing is that is just what we've started. You like in developing, you don't want to mix everything up. That is the whole concept. Trying to split things. let's say for example the add function we did. If in our program we were to use the add function different places, you see we are not repeating the code again. In this add there is only one line, but you can have a function like 20, 30, 100, 200 lines in it. If you are to reproduce that at different places and there is an error you have to fix, you fix and leave some. So the whole concept of this object-oriented programming, that is modularization, making things in modules. If you have a file and that file is talking about salary, it should only contain salary information. Are we okay? If you have a file that is talking about tax, it should only have tax information. There can be several tax functions in that file. Are we okay? If you have a file talking about car, just have that file and only car information in it. That is how they want us to program things. And there are ways to name that file so that you can use it at other places. But the whole concept is make things unit. That is all. Make things unit. And of course it comes with its advantages. It comes with its own advantages. So that is it. Hope maybe we'll brush through. Today is Tuesday. From tomorrow we will start seeing how we'll get the input from forms. Are you okay? The same code, but this time we are not saying this is equal to, let's say mark is equal to 90. We will push it to the form side so that the user will type something and then we will capture it. So please, any question with these three boys, arrays, functions and these loops? Is the time correct? Then on this note we say wassalam. My assignment.
It's assignment.
No. For him alone. I gave him an assignment. Every show again. It's the whole show I copied, so I named it the whole show.
I related it to maybe WhatsApp was
on laptop or like desktop.
Saying that when they send a message, you get it on your phone as well as on the laptop. Say
Look, I gave him assignment and he's bribing me.
Also, who is lying?
There are different ways to achieve this that you can really do without going to the office. Yeah, okay. Just go and type. Just type. Getting SMS message on desktop. Just type that.
It's not normal. There was some connection between the laptop and his SIM.
Yeah. Some will say like they will put the SIM in a modem.
That one I saw it, yes, I saw
that
it.
one is
That one I saw it.
Yeah, that one is
But I tried wireless and I saw that the connection between the laptop and the SIM, while the SIM is in mobile phone.
Yeah, in a mobile phone. My sister. Okay, I'll send you resources. Okay, I'll send you things to read. Are you okay? Take chair. Yes, to do what? I can't remember.
I wasn't they can't help me.
What you have to do is this is the site. Get another phone. This one. They are all going into the root folder. This is the root. So now we are adding one folder. Get it? And in that one we are going to have two files. The first one is footer. Are you okay? And another one is another file called header. Now when you come back here, just one example. This is the index. Do you have a footer? So all this one don't have footer. Let's go and get one of the footers. Where's the bootstrap folder? Or the dog.
Take one for the bus side.
This is what I need. And I'll put this one. Because it's limited.
Yes, developing this website.
Right, but I want to buy the domain name today. I want to know whether this is for you or my supposed to be there.
It depends on you.
Now, so if I wanted to post it after lunch, and when we do a proper work, when I do a proper work, then
that is fine. Yeah, that is fine.
But I wanted to know if, like, I buy the domain name, right? How do I change that of the 00 and put the domain name there? So that work with it.
I think in the process, when you are creating the account,
New account.
There is a portion it asks you of if you have a domain name already. Yeah, you get it. Where you are buying it from, when you pay for, they will give you, and then they will give you a DNS.
Okay.
Where you are buying from, they will give you DNS. The Google will also have a DNS. So when you are buying that account, you go and replace their DNS with the www DNS, the 00 DNS. So when you are creating it at the www, they will ask you, do you have your own domain? You just put the name there. Sometimes, like, they will tell you it will take 24 hours for resolution, for them to see, and they have to distribute your domain name service. But sometimes, like 4 hours time, you see everything.
I wanted to buy the domain from DTech, where we wanted to buy. But I checked the price, and we also have campus. I'm giving the selling some. They are saying that the .com is 55. 65, 5565. When I check DTech, the .com is 57 and the .org is 74. I wanted to buy from our people.
That has include. Did you get a final invoice? That includes tax.
I just called the guy on phone. He's a friend.
Okay.
So he told me that that's the price. .org is 65 Ghana cedis. That's everything, total amount.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably I'll buy from him and I'll try what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Price amount.
If it's popular, they should have videos for that their clients can follow.
And I think they have a website. I don't go there. Boy is a friend. I just bought him.
Okay. They have a knowledge base. And if you go to the site knowledge base, you see how to do that. But basically, that's the whole concept. They will have a DNS domain. And they just replace their DNS with the 00 web host DNS.
I want to go and try it and see.
Yeah.
So, but I'll show it to you tomorrow because now I think now significant work on that. I'll go and tomorrow I'll show you the new website. I'm not requested for e-commerce.
Okay.
He sent me something like that. A friend of mine who is a good part of that.
Mister, please, time is gone.
I'm coming. Just let me show you. The guy just did design. Nothing crying. This one. All this work. He just this one is just to home. He sent you back to home. And I think maybe he get to work on it. So he just did a nice design. Nothing else. Nothing else has been done. Nothing like this. Probably after that one, I'll go on this one to see. It's just an e-commerce. So you get a template with an e-commerce. I have to catch.
Yeah, it's doable. It's doable. You can do it. So we are almost there. With what is the footer? So when we come here and then we go to the footer, you get it. It's supposed to be PHP. This is, you see, we bring it to I come to my index and I want to use the footer. The index has to be PHP. It has to be index.php. This one. So if I come here and I want to use the footer, I don't put this code again. I I use my phone. There are certain times I've used that I've put the code there. So, and it should be inside PHP. So you just call and include bracket, the name base, the name of the file, PHP. That's all. So the footer, it will copy, if you want to display, it will copy that one, then you paste it here for you. So the same thing you have to do for header. If you had taken a menu, where this, menu 2, you have to copy it in every page. The one they will click about what, the nav bar. The normal, if you are not using PHP, you have to copy and paste every page you click so that every page is show. And so in that case, you can just copy that one, create another file, call it, let's say, nav bar, paste it there, save it as PHP. And then just come to your file here, and then before everything, you do include what it has to be inside the PHP. So include, and then you have this one. Let's say you call it nav bar PHP. Assuming, and that is it. It will copy all that header here. That is what we do.
Every page, you have to do it like this so that it will appear.
If only the page is to display something. As we go forward, you see there are certain pages, you create them, but they will not be showing on the website. But behind the scenes, they are working. Like if you are connected to database, you create a file to do the connection, but that file will not be displaying anything. So those ones don't need the header. So that is the assignment. Very simple, cheap.
This one is not.
It's
So this one is correct. The one that I did with the pages.
yes. But you have to go, okay. You have to create the menu. You have menus. And then create proper footer.
The menu, the nav bar.
The nav bar, yeah. Create a proper nav bar.
Really, are working and someone was
And then create a proper footer. I sent some links to some footers you can use.
I saw them, but when I tried to open them, I don't have maybe my internet is not so good. When I can't get to, I don't get the chance to see it.
So that is it. That is everything about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've been able to create it. What do we do? Well, we say Friday or I should do it. Okay. No, he doesn't go. It's not that, it's simple. But it's not as. He's caring. He's caring.
He's kind of caring. I saw the phone. I was the last person to see the phone. The last person to see the phone. Just like Ira. So your own business. So I was sending my own business.
It's up to you. Okay.
I've been done like English training.
The first batch, that is the level 1, they are done.
They are done.
They did graduation. They did some graduation, but I couldn't make it.
But it wasn't all that money I.
No, initially they were even considering KNUS to grade 4. You know, the people are many. But I found out I don't know where they settled. Okay.
There are people who will say they are all Gmail accounts. Why is that using the Slack?
What is that?
Mohammed is using like different email for your Slack and using different email for Mr. Mohammed. And you want to
Unless I go to
so yours has come to take over the entire Slack something. And you can't get access.
Shouldn't be
unless I go to Google before I can access yours and
you can use one
I have tried several times. It isn't password. There's nothing wrong with the password. It's my own password. This is what I use for my password. Oh no, man. Come and get something.
then that happens sometimes.
I think you have to go to Google first.
See, that is sent us. Because of the invite. When I use that link, it sends me to your
Yeah, but I've sent you. That's the request I sent. Keep praying to work. Keep praying to work.
As far as I can access, please wait.
It's up to you.
What do you suggest? Because Friday is done.
It's Friday till you can get that.
They have their own. Why?
The wife they have taken me.
No, sir.
Mr. John, the head is
We should have even walk.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. You missed it, yeah?
But this is too big.
Huh?
It's too big.
The Huta is too
Even
big.
the cat.
You want small. I don't normally take it.
Oh, myself, I don't. Unless occasionally I go to where people are, they'll give you, but I don't eat home. Yeah, like I'm taking it home.
It's not even free samples.
Why is that the same media?
What is happening? What is making you die?
Mr. John, I type user, one small, one capital. There is all my baby.
I come to my kids and then don't say me now.
I saw this one.
That is interesting.
There is senior man saying, and the man who no, I yes, wow.
Sister Baisi.
Media error. What to you? Mr. Baisi. Nobody. Wow. It's the message of operation plan, man.
Oh, that's Mr. Bison. I was like,
My car ever changed the and now I'm not going to the church. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm not going to be Islam.
I'm not going to charge another. Hey, fashion
If your problem is not breaking,
I say if your problem is what? Sometimes there are some errors. They are very, very irritating. From drinking to that, yes. I will be in this house. I'm not necessarily down. Maybe the food stop yet. Stop. I've done the please give me error. And they said, like, I was there sitting down. Please, error. So fortunately, the was a wine undefined.
That makes sense.
Sometimes you let no error, no.
I think it has to tell you something.
I've done Jason.
And it was giving me undefined sign. So I was looking for this data that I was not getting it. Don't come out and Which they didn't want that one, say, small. Didn't want that one, capital. We used to have our mommy.
But once you get more errors, it's
it's not located
that is what I wanted to.
but
This
there's
one
an
last
error.
time. This one is
Sometimes when I get there, I feel happy, but when you don't see anything,
you are not comfortable.
I want tonight almost the same problem. But tonight, I will family be on now. Let's share. Because you buy I don't know if I would be in this and you say, check what's telling me. Or not so for I say, also of baby, RL, that be so small. Yes, they have to get their fire. I'm not the 5-star and I see there you go. They are somewhere there. I'm a news. Today, now I think I'm going to
dot.
they do the anything. They say, you see, the place you see now,
Sometimes
go and get set here on the 6 match.
Yes.
That's the name. Or with the password.
No, for now, I don't need the password.
It's only the account.
Yeah.
That's the name. They're Cocker.
Okay, Ghana. Are you already at Yahoo? Yahoo. Where did you get it? The same Cocker. I thought you said someone is in it. Wow. That's nice.
Okay.
Let's close the loop.
What am I going to do?
And today, now, problems will come in. If you have a
Is it watching?
No, it's cooking.
Now that your function work,
Sir?
your function did it work?
Yeah.
He was laughing at us. There's
What
one thing,
what a function.
that was error generating. You start not a brand new view. Who are farmer? Who's the one that was a farmer?
I've gotten it.
What else?
Now, but then we were slapping them all. Give me 15 years.
What is 15 years? 15 years and then what?
Anniversary.
Anniversary.
And yes,
I don't know what he has said.
Gmail. How is it?
What is it?
I'm foreseeing today we are going to work. I've advised it. But it's a short distance from Anloga Junction to Tech Junction.
Have you always go for another?
I don't take it at what is this place? Not Ramakom. Afum Panta. Okay. Nice. Yesterday we picked it there, and the driver went this way. The one going the Santase. Trying to do some kona, not knowing their price west. There's nothing we can do. It's not like it's an old man in the car, very angry. I say, this one is not his fault. He's also setting for short road.
And they also have when he was past the station.
Yeah, we were all happy. We are beating traffic. Because he will lose more. Because instead of going coming, you are now stuck in there. He needs sympathy.
Allah sama jannah.
My dream place.
Kowa ina so a idan an kaje ta ya ga kamun.
That's my dream place. When I go out, millions and gardens of questions to ask.
And I do more boy and more come, maybe you're here for five. And I do here.
And I can't remember anything, but the content is so too bad. The music they were playing. Ghana, I don't know, this censoring board, I don't know what they are doing. Will you open a seeker?
No, there's something you finish.
Because
They
of
are
no, I don't do that. I have to push it quick. I'll try and play it tomorrow. But
we call them from the office for one of them. And one that's
passing.
Okay.
When they came, I did the registration and everything. So it's like, after talking to me, it was one of the son. It was some president. That
He's doing the project.
so he called me when I was here. So when I went, I was told that they are coming to where am I?